This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to talk about something that seems fundamentally easy and obvious, but it runs way deeper than that. They also say it's the thing that makes the world go round. It's also been a part of so many different songs over generations. And I'm going to name some of the titles of those songs. What is love? I want to know what love is. On and on and on. We're going to talk about love today, said to be one of the highest energetic vibrations, and not just romantic love, just love in general. She's a galactic shaman, Reiki master. She's an animal healer, sound healer, and so much more. Shayna Blackmar, our professional of the year, is back with us. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing well. I'm excited. It'll be a great conversation.
This is really, again, like a fundamental topic. And I think I've shared this with you, that I pilot in the last 5 years on these words. And I can't deny them. Like I can push it away, but it comes back because I believe in it. Love everyone, trust few, always do the right thing for all. Now go to the first, love everyone. You can really love everyone. You know, you could walk into a store and say, the clerk gives you a coffee and you say, yeah, I just want to let you know the coffee's fantastic today. I don't know what you did, but it's great. And by the way, your hair looks great today too. Being genuine about it, but you're showing a stranger love. I believe we can, but that's where my mind starts right there. Enlighten us on love.
Yeah, I think it shows up in a lot of different ways that we don't necessarily connect it to. We have it all separated out, but they're just different forms of love. Forgiveness, compassion, grief even. It's a form of love, of missing that person, that love that you shared together. These are all different forms of love. Another big one is non-judgment, gentleness, being happy for others without envy and genuinely wanting someone else to succeed. I mean, of course, you want yourself to succeed, but you can want that for someone else too, right? So it comes in a lot of different forms, and the more we're open to it, the more we can see it and appreciate it and cultivate more.
A number of things there. Let's dissect a little bit. So certainly grief, never thought of it that way, but that comes from love. And wishing the best for somebody, like when you're scrolling on social media and somebody's got something going on, it's really good. Feeling good for them, like, or maybe commenting, it's like, yeah, good for you, man, congratulations. But doing that on a regular basis, I don't think a lot of us do that. Many of us just like maybe hit a like, and that's okay. Or we don't do anything. Or some of us may look at those things and say, look at my life, look at them, and then just scroll past it. Do you feel that if you get in the practice of showing love in those ways, the little tiny ways, it's coming back to you? Like the door is going to swing open in love and positivity coming your way. You shouldn't do it for that reason, but does it really come back to you?
Well, I think it depends on the intention, because what your intention is comes back. If you're genuinely wanting to show someone support, you're going to receive that support as well. If you're genuinely just wanting, if it's self-serving, like I'm going to like their post because I want them to like mine, that may or may not come back. More than likely, as the energies are rising on the planet, it's not going to come back because it's self-serving. It's in service to self rather than service to others, if that makes sense. So it all comes down to the intention, and you can even ask yourself, your higher self, how can I support myself today? And then how can I support others. And that can be a like, it could be a comment, it can be opening the door for someone, smiling at someone. It can be lots of different ways. It doesn't have to be big, that's for sure. But uh, what came through this morning, and as I see it, it's so true that what we're doing within is what will then come back. So we have to focus on loving ourselves, forgiving ourselves, taking care of ourselves, self-parenting, asking, and it kind of comes through and is connected as well. It's like, what is unconditional love? If you've never truly known it, how do you know? And you can tune into the heart and ask yourself, what would make you feel loved right now? What would make you feel supported, protected, safe, respected? And the beauty of that is you're also doing healing the inner child work at the same time. But, going back to what I just said a couple minutes ago, is that loving the self and filling up with love, it then, what's on the inside then spills over into your reality and that's what you will then experience. So it's from the inside out always.
Mm. Now you've said this before, and you just said it a second ago, and I always say the same thing in my mind. I don't do that, and I forget to ask your higher self, spirit guides, spirit team, whoever, whatever, for an answer. I don't know why I forget to do that. I believe in it, and sometimes you're not going to get the answer right away. But do you do that, and do you find that you regularly get insight when you do it?
Absolutely. And it's a part of reprogramming ourselves because we've been programmed to look to the external, ask everyone, look for comments, look for what do all of my friends say? And not that that's bad, but you need to know within yourself
Mm.
what is right for you first. And if you're not sure, get some more information, then tune in again. And so I've had to reprogram myself and even would write little notes and have it on my to-do list and things like that as reminders. Oh yeah, tune in and connect for everything. And so now I'm in the habit of doing it all day long. And it's so helpful. I can't even begin to explain how helpful it is. And going, there's so much more flow and ease because the information you receive is what is best for you at that moment
Mm.
that
Do
you need.
okay. So here's my question on that, and thank you for sharing that. You just got me even more excited about doing it on a regular basis. What you get, the information you get back, is it you know the answer? It's not. Am I looking at this correctly? It's not like these mystical guides coming in and they're saying giving you messages and answers. It's you. You know the answer. It's within. You just need to pull it out. It's your higher. That's what your higher self is. Am I explaining that
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. It's your soul essence that you're connecting with. And you set the intention, okay, higher self or myself, or talk to Shayna, whatever you want to call it. um, you're receiving confirmation from what you know in your heart, but that confirmation, you basically become your own witness, and that is part of being in this reality that's important, and why we end up looking to the external is because we need a witness, but you are your own witness when you're talking to either source or your higher self, and that's confirming. And the information will be exactly what is best for you versus somebody else. And, not that it's always necessarily information that isn't good for you, but they're coming from their own perspective and their own experience and what maybe they want.
Hmm.
So, you being your own witness means you're getting exactly what is best for you.
deeper question. Do you feel that many of us don't do that? Whether, we go deep into the shaman side of things or just generally, we just generally don't do it. We ask outside sources because whether we want to admit it or not, we don't trust ourselves. We don't have like full faith in ourselves.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it comes down to we get the information, but then we don't necessarily trust it or we don't follow through. And that, that's a whole other ball of wax as far as building trust within yourself. And so what happens and what I recommend with clients is baby steps, try asking, kind of random questions. Should I wear this dress today or this dress? Whatever.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
something that doesn't really matter. Um, but and so that you can build that trust with the answers that you receive. And the answers come in and they come in quickly. It actually doesn't take a while. It's about tuning into the subtlety that you're receiving, whether it's a feeling, words, flash of color, the red one versus the blue one, whatever. Um, and the more that you trust and follow through with what you receive,
Mm.
the more you will then receive because you're basically telling your higher self, source, the universe, okay, she's ready for more. We can send her more information.
Ooh.
When you stop following the guidance that you receive less because you're telling the universe, wait, I'm not ready for this.
You are just making a case for this that we should be doing this on a regular basis.
We should.
Well, because everything you're saying is evidence of there's no denying it. But I believe something else came down for me in that we don't want to take the responsibility, even if we have faith in ourselves, or reasonable faith, and we believe the answer over our journey. It's taking that responsibility. Because if you ask somebody else, hey, what do you think? Should I do this? And they tell you something in your mind, whether if it doesn't work out, you can always say, I shouldn't listen to them. Right? You don't want to say that to yourself.
I just got chills. That is actually a huge, huge part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it comes down to emotional and spiritual maturity because sometimes the information you get, you may not necessarily want to hear, or you may not necessarily want to do. Maybe it's ending a relationship, maybe it's not going to a social engagement that you're getting all this peer pressure to go to. Or something that you used to do but doesn't quite feel good anymore, but you're kind of forcing it, so it could be different things. And if you truly want to keep growing, you got to follow through no matter what it is
Mm.
that you receive. And that means stepping into responsibility and spiritual maturity. So it's just about what do you choose?
And I heard this recently, and I want to deny it, but I can't. When you take responsibility for your life, and part of that is what we're talking about here, you take back your power.
1000%. You take your energy back, your power back, you're clearing the past and cords from the past, you're coming back into the present, you're ready to move forward. And so much of, realizing recently, so much of the healing work that we do is about creating space. When you're doing forgiveness, you're clearing the weight, the layers, so that you have more space, calling your energy back in the present. When you're doing sound healing, you're literally clearing density, creating more space for more light to come in. So yeah, how can you create more space to move forward? How can you clear the past? Um, how can you take care of yourself? You have to create space to do that.
Mm. I know we pivoted from the original intent of conversation, which was love. I'm going to get back to that in just a moment. But one more question on listening or asking for the answer. Is that also your gut feeling? Like when you're asking for the answer, you get the answer. I'm thinking about buying a used car or a second vehicle. Should I do it? You wait for the answer. Is that also your gut coming into play as well?
Well, this is the perfect pivot back because if you're coming from love, like you're in the feeling, the mindset, if you're in the heart, when you ask that question, the response you get is in your gut and your wherever you feel it, yes. If you're in fear, if you're worried about the car payment or whatever, then the response is going to be connected to the past, connected to fear, connected to security, whatever it's connected to. So being in love is the key.
Okay. So give you that car, second car, thinking about buying it. Seems reasonable. The seller is legit, da 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 da, on and on. All the pieces seem like they're there. Maybe it's a little more than you want to spend, but whatever. Um, if you say, I love myself, I deserve it, and come from a place of love, then listen for that answer as opposed to, yeah, oh, I don't know if I can afford it. I don't know if this, I don't know that. Um, if you truly come from a place of love, is that the best way to approach that? And there's a follow up question here that I'm just gonna slide in for a moment. When you do that, are you coloring the answer? Are you tinging or tainting the answer? If, you know what I'm saying? Favoring over one or the other?
Yeah, absolutely. It's that brings up a good point. It's important. The wording of the question is important. And I've found a kind of just general, clean way to ask is what would be best for me? Because
Mm,
that like takes you out of ego because ego thinks it knows everything, right? That takes you out of fear and you're just basically handing over everything to the divine, to your higher self, to source, whatever you call it, and asking, okay, what would actually be what's best for me right now?
okay. Got to do that.
I think that answers both questions. Yeah.
Yeah, got to do it. Like, and why wouldn't you? What do you have to lose? And there's no embarrassment. It's not like you're going to walk up to somebody, friend, stranger, whoever it is, and just ask them questions. You're asking you. So, like, it's, and the thing that's
Yeah, you can ask anything.
very much sold me on this and really, and I believe in it. I just don't do it because I forget or I don't want to take responsibility, truth be told, for myself. Um, what you said before, once you start doing it, it it a gets easier and it happens more often. You're more connected with self. Like the snowball down the hill, it just gets bigger, better, whatever it might be. What else? Talking about love, what else can you share with us? Things that we should be aware of?
Yeah, I kind of thought about I was reminded of the golden rule this morning of do unto others as you would do unto yourself. So if you're not sure how to respond to a situation or a person, you're not necessarily sure um, how you could come from love. This is another good example of ask your higher self for before you talk to the person or make your decision. Depending on the situation, you can ask, help me and the other person speak and listen from love.
Hmm.
Um, and then you can also ask, relating to the golden rule too, what would I like to receive in that situation? What would I like to hear? What would make me supported?
Hmm.
Um, what would make me feel loved? So some good, kind of things that you can, if you're not quite sure how to get there, some things that can help you get into the mindset of love and what actually would that look like? Because you can say, I love you all day long, but you have to actually embody it. You have to put it into action.
Well, it goes back to when you tell somebody that, say it like you mean it. So I think it's also the same thing. Say it like you mean it, or express it even to yourself like you mean it, because we can spot a phony. You can spot a phony in yourself if you're really not truly meaning it in terms of love to yourself. Is love the highest vibration? I often hear that it's not. I always thought it was. Authenticity is above it. Some have told me that. What are your feelings?
Well, I think we actually talked about this before, and I came to the conclusion that authenticity isn't the highest because authenticity is being yourself, and you can be authentic and be angry, courageous,
Hmm.
um, joyful, loving, and those are all very different vibrations. I was actually just writing about this yesterday, and peace is actually the highest vibration in until we reach enlightenment, but that's at 600 hertz. So coming back to protecting your peace, it's not just woo-woo or something silly to say. It is actually very, very important. And I think we should all take it seriously because protecting your peace means you're holding space for yourself in a high vibration for an extended amount of time. And the more you can hold yourself in that high vibration, the longer you can stay in it. So protecting your peace is actually really, really important.
You win. I'm totally I'm totally on board, and I never even considered that. But yes, when you think about protecting your peace, what does that embody? Love for
Mhm.
yourself, boundaries, authenticity, because you got to be real with others and yourself. If you're going to protect your peace, you might have to say things to others, might be a little uncomfortable, but you're being you. Um, and it doesn't get any better than that when you have peace. You could say joy is up there, um,
Mhm.
but peace trump is above joy. It has to be.
It is.
Mm,
It's right
wow.
above it. Yeah, and you mentioned boundaries too, and that is actually a form of love. That's a form of saying to someone, I actually still want you in my life, but this is how it can happen.
Yeah.
So that's another form of love and holding on to your peace. That's a good question you can ask too. If, what would be best for me? Also, what is going to bring me peace in a situation? And again, it may not be the answer you like, but it's the one that is best for you moving forward.
Mm. That is part of the experience or the learning experience to accept the answer if it's not one that you like, but truly accept it, not run from it like, you got to go with that answer because that's coming from within. And I believe everything we have, everything we need, we have it. It's inside of us. Even the body's amazing. Even to heal yourself, you got it. Even physically heal from certain things. It's in you. You got it. You just need to tap into that wisdom and everything going on there. I never thought talking about love would pivot in so many directions, but it does all come back to the same thing now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's all love. Love it
Wow.
all up.
Wow. Um, how do we find you? I know this can get a little woo for some, but this is the beginning of change in your life, transformation, all of this stuff. This is what you've been looking for. And it's interesting. I want to share this. I saw a stat come out recently that said that in one particular religion, doesn't matter which one it is, that the number of people that are joining the religion, and it's a big one, again, it doesn't matter. I saw a stat like 40% increase in the number of people that are gravitating toward this religion. It could be any religion. The point here is people are looking for something. They're looking for answers. They're looking for a change. They're thirsty for something, whether it's religion, whether it's spirituality, whether it's, healing, from our past and all of that. I think we finally woke up. I really do. How do we connect with you? How do we find you?
My website is vurusha.com, Vurusha. And I'm on social media at Shayna Blackmar Healing at Instagram. Oh, and don't forget you can sign up for the Mount Shasta retreat.
Ooh,
That's in August.
and where's that going to be?
Mount Shasta, Northern California.
Northern. Oh, now I got it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
looked that up. Right.
Yeah.
Uh, love what you do. Love your approach. I know it's a little woo for some. I can firmly say I've done sessions with you. I still tell others how I feel. I still gravitate back to that feeling from that session like a month or so ago. Walking on a cloud, just amazing. Thank you for being here today, and ask for the answer. That's the takeaway here. Ask yourself for the answer. We'll catch up soon. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.